And what we're going to try to do is to dive into programs like the THERF, which is such this one, and the European Solidarity Corps, and the mobility. So for that, as I said, we have six speakers, and the objective of this seminar is to share practical experiences, to analyze how municipalities and organizations can take advantage of these European programs, and to discuss the benefits and challenge of implementing European projects at local level. So I'm going just to ask the speaker just to take their seats, and then I can introduce them. So my councilman Germán, thank you. Albert Llorens. Luigi Balacco. Ignacio González from the Amicitia, thank you. My dear Kyriakos. And Javier Expósito. Thank you, Javi. So, first of all, I'm going to introduce to you for these six speakers. Our first one is my councilman, Germán Manjón, who is the councilman for European projects for municipality of Altea, as well as electronic engineer and teacher in the area of computer systems and electronic systems. And in his presentation, the municipal experience in participation of European projects, he will describe or he will give us a description of how municipalities get involved in European projects with emphasis on coordination with the local fabric, the strategies for effective interdepartmental planning that benefits society, and success stories that actually we had at local level. So, thank you. I give you the floor.
Thank you. Well, it looks like I'm gonna speak from a lot of things, listening Paloma, but well, especially focused on the work that we was doing here since the office start until now. Okay, so well, good morning again, and thank you all for still here with us. And I like to begin by highlighting the significance of collaboration among local stakeholders, such as educational establishments, associations, and NGOs with the Altea Council. Thanks to this cooperation in Altea, we have been able to commit to the future and well-being of our citizens from a participatory perspective. As you can imagine, today is a pleasure for me to explain how our journey has brought us to the place we are, with effective strategies that involve different contributors in Altea society, as well as different success stories and challenges we have faced. First of all, I would like to place you at the beginnings of Altea. In 2017, Pere Lloret, the first councillor responsible of the office, made the decision to embark on this project, pointing Paloma Verdú as its head, whom I want to thank for her work. She's not listening, but I'm really glad to work with her. Those who know her are aware of the great professional she is, and I know you all that know her are agree with me. Well, I also want to take this opportunity to thank Maria Labios, which is, I think, here, for her fantastic work and all the people that have passed in the European project office, Altea. Well, they are the reason the Altea City Council has demonstrated its solid commitment to the strategies and policies of the European Union, positioning the municipality at the forefront of European projects and as a reference in the field throughout the Valencian community, with the permission of Alcira, okay, because they are a mirror to look at. Our participation in European projects has focused on enriching the lives of our community, especially our youth. Initiatives such as the European Solidarity Corps and Erasmus Plus have opened doors to great experiences promoting mobility, learning, and solidarity. Among the different European projects, more than 150 young people have profited from mobility and training in different places in European Union. In fact, some of the young participants in these mobilities, whom I have the opportunity to speak with about their experience, are very grateful for having been able to leave their homes and face the challenge of being in a different country with all that it entails. They are the ones who help us to spread the word and reach more young people. Also, participation in the European projects like Urban 3, Volunteering Cities, earned our municipality the opportunity to create a volunteer council, develop a complete action plan on volunteering, and be awarded with the Regional Volunteer Award in 2020, which is really important for us. This project allowed cities to learn from mutual experiences and strengthen urban strategies and actions through the exchange of know-how. Well, as I mentioned earlier, for us is really important promoting European Union values, and the collaboration with the educational centers in Altea it's a special part of our work, with particular focus on Altea and Bellaguarda institutes. I have to say that we are really glad with the school teams because they join us always that we need it, and including the students and the teachers. Right now they're working with us on different projects like VoluntEu. That's I had the opportunity to be with the partners, and it's a program really interesting that seeks to involve citizens in actions against climate change. Well, on the other hand, until 2020, Altea led Europe, a project that connects 8 European cities and focused on young people and their role in the future of Europe. This project challenged Eurosceptic rhetoric and promoted a pro-European dialogue involving young people in important debates about Euroscepticism and the impact of fake news. I want to do a special point in the cultural field. The project Artisans Do It Better sees the importance of culture in Altea, especially with local young artisans, in a town known for its rich artistic tradition and its faculty of arts. Another projects in the environmental sector that we was participating was a pilot municipality. We was a pilot municipality in the local for green project. This project supported local authorities in promoting renewable energy in line with the Sustainable Energy Action Plans of the Interreg Med program. Another benefit of working with European programs or different projects is the program Eurodisea, through which we have been able to bring talent from other countries to work with us and facilitate that young people from other countries come to our town hall to learn about its sector. These examples illustrate how Altea has successfully addressed a variety of key sectors, overcoming challenges and seizing opportunities for sustainable development and active youth participation in building a more integrated and dynamic European future. For us, it's very important to continue with the social work we are achieving through the European projects. We are certain that we are on the right path thanks to all the positive feedback we receive, but this should only serve to motivate us to continue transforming Altea society through participation and collaboration. With each project, we take a step closer to our goal of building a more equal, sustainable, educated, and connected Altea. Thank you.
Thank you, Herman, for your presentation. Very, very interesting, because it's just a view of what happened here during all these years. So thank you very much. Now I'm just going to introduce to you Albert Llorens. He's a health worker, international development worker, and volunteer with the Altea Red Cross. He's been with the VoluntEu project since the very beginning, and his presentation will be practical, and he has been a part of this project, as I said, since the beginning. So basically what he's going to give us is the experience of volunteer experience, but from Red Cross. So thank you.
Good morning to everyone. Thank you, Paloma, for your words. Well, first of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to stay here. And I would like to present myself. My name is Albert, and I'm part of the Red Cross since 3 years ago, like a volunteer. Nowadays, I'm a worker too, a worker too, in the area of the humanitarian aid with the migrants in the Canary Islands. And I'm staying here to sharing my experience in this project. Okay, I started in this project, in the VoluntEu project, in the meeting of Molfetta in Italy in the last February, and after I participated in Greece, and the last meeting in September in Kalnik. I would like to start it by highlighting some values or factors that for me are important, and that which I find that it will be repeated in all of these meetings. I be quickly in this part, and after I will explain you and comment more technical aspects. First of all, this project, the VoluntEu, will allow us the opportunity to share in our own culture and to discover new cultures, discover new dishes, gastronomy, history, learning new languages, learning about art, and all of this means that with the culture, we can breaking down conceptual barriers and frontiers, and frontiers, yes. The other factor, it was that we had different meetings with different entities and associations, which were able to share our problems and different problems and solutions, and it were the space where we can, when we were able to find that problems that we thought that we have it all in our countries, in our societies, we discovered that we have it in common with other countries. Another factor is these moments that for me, I think it should be mandatory in each program and in each meeting, the socialism moments, because from my point of view, is one of the most important, because it's the space where you can grow up like an individual part, you can learning some values and being better person, and it's also the space where you can meeting people, sharing your curiosities, and where you can take with you some friends. Finally, the workspaces are also important because they contribute also in all that we speak in, I said before, and also is the space that allow us to stay today here, all of us, gathering together, is the space also to be able to carry out this project and those projects that await us in the future. And we arrive at the point that we want to talk more technical aspects. Okay, how I said before, this project allow us to sharing our knowledge and to learning the knowledge of the other countries. Where it's a project where we were able to learning new methods that we could be implant in our countries, in our societies, in our organizations, and in our life, like personality and individual lives. And we were able also to evaluate and correct our own process and our own methods. And it's a space where it makes the possibility to create a new international networking. What it doesn't stop here, because we need to focus our point of view in the future, and we need to know that we have the door opens for new projects that maybe in the future we could participate. Like a Red Cross, like an entity and like a volunteer of the Red Cross, we have been able to take an advantage of all of this. And we had the opportunity to sharing with Europe some activities that we do like a Red Cross at the level national in Spain and in the local level here in Altea. We have the opportunity to bring to Europe activities that were born here in Altea and give them the value and the relevance that they had it. For the other part, we had the opportunity to learn some different activities from other entities of other partners and other Red Crosses in Europe. And all of this means that we find it that these projects, the Europe projects, they had a different consequence, directly or indirectly, with the population in the individual and in the general level. Because we found that we have an improvement of the time and the resource efficiency, and we discover also that we can contribute directly to reduce the inequalities, to participate for disappear the frontiers, the borders. And also we have the opportunity, because we have an impact directly to the health of the population. We have also a direct impact with the quality of life of the people, and all of these are interrelated between them. So if you improve one, you can improve the other. If you don't actuate in one, you can actuate in the other. So we need to take this in consideration. And finally, the other aspect is we can participate in the ecological movement, and we can participate to protect our Mother Earth. In summary, well, first of all, I want to say that I have a little experience in international projects. I had the opportunity to work with a lot of entities, NGOs, municipalities from different countries of Latin America or Africa, Europe including. I work with the World Health Organization. Also, I'm part of the Red Cross, International Red Cross. I participate in different projects at the level international to human aid. And I belong to different scientists, nursing associations at the level national, international. That I want to say with this is I have a little experience in international projects, and I want to congratulate to the people of this project, to all the participants and all the coordinators in each country, because it's necessary that we have more projects like this one, because we need to know that with these projects we can breaking down these conceptual borders, and we have a responsibility to work directly with the quality of the population, with the health of the population, and also respect and protect our planet. Finally, I will I would like to say thank you to Altea and to the Red Cross of Altea for giving me the opportunity to participate in this project. And in special mention to Paloma, Braulio that isn't here, and Jose Ramon that I don't know where is it, because they sharing their own experience with me in this project. So thank you, and thank you everyone.
Thank you, Albert, for sharing your experience with all of us. I will talk to you, I will give you some, or I will ask you some questions later. And now I'm just going to present to you Luigi Balacco, a dear friend and partner that we've been working for a long, long time. Hola. Well, Luigi Balacco, he's a founding member and director of the association Inco Molfetta in Bari, Italy. He's been working in the field of youth since 2001, and he has a very extensive experience as a participant, also as a project manager in several European programs, such as Erasmus+, European Solidarity Corps, or Europe for Citizens and SERV. His presentation will introduce us into the future of European Solidarity Corps as a practical overview. And before going any further, I have to say that the students here today is the group from the ES Altea, the minors that will be going to Bari, to Molfetta, to municipality of Molfetta for nearly 10 days just to be on an Erasmus Plus project. So everything is connected. So thank you, Luigi.
Thank you, Paloma. I also would like to say thank you to the staff of Altea, to the municipality. It's the second time I am here in Altea, but always I feel at home. So it means that there are great connection between us, and I'm sure that each young person of Altea has been at least one time in his life in Molfetta, because we have so many projects together, such a great cooperation. So thank you. Before I start, I think there is a Menti presentation, but in the meantime that they found the Menti presentation, I would like to introduce my team, my delegate. With me, we have the president of Red Cross, Gianni. He is with the hoodie of the Red Cross. Representative of the academic world, Patrizia, English teacher for secondary school. Sava, she is originally from Albania, but she represented the immigrant community in Molfetta. And then Sergio, he represents an elder association. So all the city is represented here. If you have time to approach them during the networking break, you can have a... some of them don't speak English, but they are very good with sign language. So, yes. So my role today is to talk about the future of Solidarity Corps, which is one of the newest programs in of the European Commission. There should be a Menti presentation in order to warm up a bit. I just would like to, in the meantime, I just would like to tell that in order to understand what is the future of the Solidarity Corps, maybe we have to give a look to what was the past of this program and what was the experience built on this program. This program was basically give the opportunity to young people up to 30 years old, from 18 to 30 years old, to have a volunteer experience in another country. There were also some young people from Altea we have host in Molfetta as volunteer, but also now for Youth Exchange, which belongs to Erasmus. But basically, is a good chance to go out from your own comfort zone. Young people can take the challenge and to try to live alone, far away from their family, and develop some competence. This is the Solidarity Corps. Okay, there is no Menti presentation, so we go on with this. I was just telling that European Solidarity Corps is built on the experience of the former European Voluntary Service Program. This program was born in 96, 97, and gave the possibility to young people to have a volunteer experience in another country. Basically, all the European countries, in addition also some neighboring country, and even more sometimes. There are some programs that allow people to go outside. But the Solidarity Corps was built on this EVS, standing for European Voluntary Service. As I told you, it's possible to have this experience in it was possible to have this experience in Europe, but also outside of Europe. The volunteer activity could be focused about any topic, mainly connected to support, focused on supporting other communities, other people. Basically, the domain was a social at the beginning, okay? For example, let's see if it works. This was me 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, in a volunteer project in Norway. This was why this picture? I was trying to light a fire on the snow, on the ice. It's crazy if I tell to my friends in my town, but it was one of the competences that you could learn at that time out of nothing, in the middle of nowhere, 21, 22 years ago. This was the city, basically almost nothing. Even Altea is bigger than this. And this was their main product. The city, the town, the village is called Selbu, and their specialty was to create these Selbu gloves for winter time. And I just discovered that this was a lake in May when the snow was melted, and because at the beginning it was full of snow. But lighting a fire on the ice was one of the competences that I learned during my project in Norway. So why Solidarity Corps? I don't know if you remember this person. This is Jean-Claude Juncker, the former president of the European Commission. At that time, in 2016, Europe was hit by a huge calamity, such as the immigration crisis, and we had a big earthquake in Orcha in 2016. So during his speech on the State of European Union, September 2016, Jean-Claude Juncker decided to launch this new program. The topic, the main part of his speech was about the connection between the Europeans. What is connecting Europeans? Of course, solidarity. What is connecting a farmer from Netherlands with a, I don't know, employer from Italy or a technician from Spain? The feeling of solidarity. So he decided to foster this feeling of solidarity, launching this new program called Solidarity Corps. And in fact, the first 100 volunteers reached Norcha in 2017 in order to support the community and help to the reconstruction. There is a small video, maybe if you click on it, it's possible to watch it. If you go a little bit down, there is the video. Yes, this one.
My name is Alexandra Maria, and I come from Estonia. I'm 23 years old. I wanted to participate because I felt like I can make a change, to feel useful, and also to have a personal growth.
At first, I was expecting to be a kind of project that will be a little vacations, where at the same time I will have the opportunity to help others. But no. Since the first day, my opinion about it changed completely. We have been helping children, we have been rebuilding this cathedral and other historical places, but more than that, we have been helping people with their own problems.
For me, solidarity is about humanity. It's a feeling of unity together and to join our efforts in order to help one specific community. And I also feel that it's a moral responsibility for all of us.
Solidarity means the future, the life, and the civilization itself. Because I think only through cooperation and only through our help and to understand the people around us can prosper and grow our societies in European Union.
Okay, great. We can go back to the presentation. You find all this video in the official Solidarity Corps portal. You can use for your organization. Here there are many organizations who we cooperate with, and generally we use this material. So where to start if I am a young person and would like to join Solidarity Corps? There is a link, there is this Solidarity Corps portal. In this link, you can just click it. Basically, you can start from a quiz. There is a quiz because the Solidarity Corps portal is, the Solidarity Corps program has different action. Okay, so maybe taking this quiz, you can understand if this is which action is better for you. You can choose to have individual volunteering, you can choose to have a volunteering in team, you can choose to have a volunteer experience in your country or abroad. You can choose to have with your friends in your local community a solidarity project. With this quiz, maybe you can understand what is the best for you. You can sign in this link, is the official European Solidarity Corps portal, and once you sign in, you get this PNR number, and with this PNR number, you can contact an organization and can start your preparation process. First of all, you have to search for a sending organization. For example, Altea has a quality label as a supporting or sending organization. So you go to Paloma and you tell that you would like to go to an experience in Europe, and there is a network of partners, even in the Solidarity Corps portal, that you can choose. So here is, for example, what you will find in the European Solidarity Corps portal. This is just the home page with all the available projects today. Okay, you can just sign. You can just write the city, write the country, or you can search. You can sort by topic. Anything. It's very easy to find a project nowadays. What do I get? So you have the European Commission covers the grant of the program, covers the food and lodging. So you will go there and you will find a place where to stay. You will have an amount of money to buy your food, or maybe the organization that is hosting you will provide food for you. You can get a pocket money in addition. Now this pocket money, it depends, but in Italy it's between 150 and 180. It's changing, so it depends what program year you belong to. Then you get a language course, local language course. For example, I was not obliged, but they offer me to learn Norwegian, which is absolutely impossible to learn, but if I managed, you can do it. So it's very good in order to be integrated with the local community. And travel, the European Commission covers your travel up to a maximum amount. It's sorted by distance band. There are some distance bands where you can fall in, and according to the distance. Then you have insurance. It means that everything is covered. Also, if you buy a pills of paracetamol, they cover it. So you don't have to worry about these kind of expenses. And finally, you get a tutor and mentor, which are guiding you. They are guiding you during all the process in your hosting country. Private life, professional life, during your volunteering, they are evaluating with you your learning process, and they are also, if you don't know where is the party tonight, you can always ask to the mentor. So let's finally make some consideration about the future of the European Solidarity Corps. I'm talking just about individual volunteering or volunteering in general. Now the European Commission has sent an evaluation form, let's say, because we are almost at the half of the program. So we have the chance to tell our opinion, and if you receive it, I invite you to fill the questionnaire, because we can change and we can tell how we would like to have this program in the future. But basically, the aspect of non-formal learning will be even more, let's say, developed. What does it mean, non-formal learning? Is this kind of learning that is structured, but sometimes we don't really know that we are learning something. It is happening with a clear objective, but not in a frontal way. Is happening during workshop, during this learning by doing, is happening with your peers, is happening with many methods. There are many non-formal methods: simulation, team building, speaking in public, learning a language with your friend from another country. This is non-formal learning, okay? And how do you certify your non-formal learning process? Through this document that you receive, which is called Youth Pass. Everybody will receive a Youth Pass. The group that is coming to Molfetta will receive a Youth Pass at the end of the project. Because here you can recognize your key competence and non-formal learning. And it's also important the acquiring of competence not only at personal level but also at professional level. It means that maybe after a European Solidarity Corps project or maybe after a youth exchange, you have developed some capacity and you will use this capacity for your future career. And let's see here, one-time stop. It's very important. You can have this program only one time in your life, basically up to 12 months. They have reduced a bit. It was last year 14 months, but now with the new program, with the new annual program is 12 months. So what I can suggest to you is don't be attracted only by the destination, but also choose the activity that fits to you better. It's not important to go in big city and having big party. Okay, it's also important, but also try to reflect what is better for you. And now there is a new trend, as there are some pilot projects, we are also partner of this, especially in France. There are this merging between Solidarity Corps and civil service. Civil service is another way to engage people, local youngsters, in some activity at local level. For example, we are developing, and also we had a kind of decision from European Commission that young people can have a period of civil service in their country and then, for example, 6 months of voluntary service in another country. Basically, we have hosted some French people that have done their civil service in France and then they came in Molfetta. Now everything is happening in social media. So if you are young people and you don't know where to find information, I suggest you this profile. It's very easy to find a project here that fits to you. So you have Europe Ingram and apply and go travel. And then of course the profile of Inco Molfetta, we always publish vacancies if you are interested. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Luigi. Thank you very much for your presentation and this fresh view of what European Solidarity Corps runs out these days. Now I'm just going to introduce to you to Ignacio González. Everybody here knows him as Nacho. He's the founding member and director of the Amicity Association that has been with this office since the very beginning and is part of many projects, and we actually cooperate in many projects as well. So his presentation is going to be a practical case of volunteering teams' high priority areas. Thank you.
Okay, good morning to everybody. I'll try to be very quick, okay? So afterwards you can make questions if you want. And I want you to learn three things in this presentation. Firstly, a good practice. Second thing, a good program. And thirdly, to remind you something about volunteering that you know, but maybe I want you to remind it, okay? So I will tell you a story once upon a time. I hope it will work. How does it? Okay, it all started with this man. Okay, you see him, 90 years old. In 2020, he was watching TV, March 2020, in his residence in Madrid. So he was watching TV one day, and the next day he was also watching TV. And the next day he was watching TV, because if you realized, 2020, in a residence in Madrid, it was in the middle of the COVID, and every day 800 people were dead in Spain. And he was a good target for this, this number, okay? Actually, he was in a residence and people were dying in this residence. And he was from March till mid-June watching TV, and nobody was, only some people were taking care of him, but he was doing nothing. He was completely isolated. And you remember this moment, okay? So it was not this experience was not very, very nice, and actually it created a lot of problems, mental problems, to a generation of our grandparents, of parents. So there was a need there, and we saw it, okay? And next thing that happened is that, in Altea, 500 kilometers away, there's a lovely community of people who dance, and they are Lindy Hoppers. They dance swing. And we have actually a lovely teacher here. My teacher is there, and Indira. And yeah, if you want to join, you should join this community in this association. It's called Swing Peaks. And it's a huge community in all the world, and they have very nice principles and solidarity and humanism. So this is another part of the story. And then the other part of the story, yes, it's this program. It's called Volunteering Teams High Priority Areas in 2022, that the priority was health, okay, and to relieve those who suffer from COVID. So we have these three structures there. This program is inside the program European Solidarity Corps. It's one of the legs of the European Solidarity Corps and tries to do group volunteering. So we mix everything in the kitchen, okay, and we created a project that is called a flinch called Swing, okay, which is even a sexy name, okay. But basically what we wanted to bring is volunteering groups, I mean something like 15 young people, 20 days to create a swing band, okay, and we wanted to go to the elderly homes and make a concert. So, I mean, it's a project. There are thousands of nice projects, but this project was for us very special because it really targeted a need of isolation of these people. And also, we gave a very nice experience to youngsters because they could do something that was very useful for them, or that they were preparing themselves for many years because they were musicians. They were not. They were not professional musicians. But in 20 days, well, actually in 7 days, they were able to make a concert of swing music, and they were going around elderly houses, showing this concert, interacting with the old people, and empowering themselves as active citizens and as musicians also, and learning from themselves. So actually, I think it was, or it is actually a project that Altea is part of it, that is very meaningful because it has a real impact. It has an impact in the volunteers, it has an impact in the local society, it has an impact in the old people, okay, that are being visited and having this activity. And also, as I said, it's a splendid experience for volunteers. And some of them repeat and repeat because we are doing it for 3 years. Actually, you can see there Marco, the guy with a beard. He's only 19 years old. And he is repeating every year, and he's becoming actually a musical director nowadays. So I think it's a good project if you can get inspired. And also, it gives a lot of visibility for the organizations, but also for the European principles. Okay, so I think you can take into consideration like for you to think about it, to participate. And I wanted just to show you brief slides of where does the money come from. And it comes from volunteering teams, high priority areas. There is one call every year, and it's a large-scale project inside of European Solidarity Corps. So if you're used to European Solidarity Corps from the point of view of the organization, I think it's worthwhile to look and see if you want to participate, because from our side, it's a nice project, and we got for this project something like more than 100,000 euros. So it's interesting. You can see, I'm just copying from the document from the European Union. You can more or less read what are the conditions, what are the priorities and the objectives. This year, it's focused basically on asylum seekers and all the problems created for war conflicts, especially Ukraine. Okay, so this is one of the priorities this year. And of course, giving a space for those with less opportunities, those volunteers with less opportunities. Okay, basically what you are going to do is organize volunteering teams. That means 15 days to 2 months projects, group projects. Volunteers will get plane ticket, pocket money, and you will get money for food. The same as European Solidarity Corps, okay? Individual ones, okay? And how you should prepare a project, you can read it there. And if you see, the money that you receive is a little bit different from the one of individually, because it doesn't give some money for the traveling. I mean, it's not based on the distance calculator. You have a lump sum, and it's not bad, especially if you bring people from close from close regions, okay? So yeah, but if you move it correctly, you can really face the project, okay? So if you want to try, think about it. The only big problem that you have is that the deadline is the 8th of February. So in 24 hours, so you know what I'm going to do in the next 24 hours, okay? I'm going to have a really good time writing my project and sending it tomorrow. But think about it for next year. I think it's worthwhile. And I promised that I wanted to remind you something about volunteering. The man in the beginning was my father. Yes, 90 years old. And the Lindy Hop is one of the leisure activities I do. And why am I exposing myself personally in front of you? Because in every volunteering activity, hope it works. Yes, you always need passion. Doesn't work in a different way. If you don't think that the volunteers are going to get an experience of passion, it will not work. You all know it, okay? I just wanted to remind you, okay? And the last thing, I prepare some videos. I don't know if it will be possible. I mean, maybe you can see 30 seconds so that you feel what the project was. I don't know if it's possible or not. or maybe I think they have to click, or maybe you can leave it afterwards and they can see it afterwards while in the break or whatever, so that you can feel it, okay? So for me, this is what I wanted to explain. Thank you very much.
Was really inspiring. I knew it was your father. That was a really touchy story because it's just what happened. So thank you very, very much. And yeah, we play the video when we finish, so everybody can see it. Well, for me, it's a very great pleasure to introduce to you what I call the man, because he's mayor of Atheno in Cyprus. But the thing is that he's from 1983, 1983, to 2016, Mr. Kyriakos Kariklas, he's been working as head of the technical services of the Central Services Administration. And since 1998, he has been involved in European projects through the Union of Larnaca Communities and has been a great activist for European cooperation in Cyprus. But the main thing is that, I'm going to say this in Spanish because I'm shocked. Desde 1998 está involucrado en su comunidad con proyectos europeos. Y desde luego yo he podido estar personalmente en Atheno. Lo que Atheno era, lo que Atheno es, no tiene absolutamente nada que ver. Es la única persona que conozco que lleva una trayectoria desde 1998. So, his presentations are here. So he's going to give us a presentation, the political representation of Cyprus in the European context, experience and best practices. I mean, I don't think I know anybody that knows more about European or Europe than Kyriakos. So I give you the floor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my Paloma. Good morning, everybody. It's so nice to be here. Thanks a lot, Altea and the municipality of Altea for this warm welcome to all of us. Now, I will talk about this representation of Cyprus in the European context. And in regards of my municipality, I will show it's a small municipality, but very well involved in European projects. So Cyprus, a small country of EU, has become a full member of the European Union, completing a long journey that lasted more than 3 decades on 1st of May of 2004. Accession to the EU was a natural choice for Cyprus, and this gave challenges, opportunities, and responsibilities. Despite being a divided country, the entire island is an EU territory. Turkish Cypriots are eligible for EU citizenship, even though EU law is suspended in the occupied by Turkey area. Now, this perspective on the political participation of Cyprus in European projects and programs. In recent years, there is a continuous participation of municipalities and other political actors of Cyprus in EU projects and programs. There are so many programs that allow this participation, like the SEV, like we have this project here, AirPac, Horizon, Interreg, Leader, Erasmus, Life, and so many others. And local authorities participate in these projects. I shall just tell you for my municipality, we're showing a little while a small municipality. Right now we are participating in 7 SERV projects, in some Erasmus and some other projects. We have submitted applications with various other actors as lead partners or not. In many other projects, you just have to have the will and to prepare, and you can achieve it. Through the participation already done, the political actors involved have faced great benefits. funding that created many collaborations with European cities and other European actors, funding for projects that created jobs and opportunities for the youth, the in-need people and others, funding for construction of various projects and other obvious benefits. Now, Euroscepticism was something that was preventing the political participation of Cyprus in EU. In Cyprus, there was a great concern about the European Union on the fact and the belief that the European Union didn't deal with the invasion of Turkey in Cyprus in 1974, and also recently to our exclusive economic zone, the way it dealt with the invasion, for example, of Russia in Ukraine, and other invasions done recently and before. Through the participation in various EU projects, youth and other citizens realize that Europe is our great common country and should eliminate Euroscepticism, cooperate, and make it stronger, make European Union stronger for our common benefit. So Euroscepticism is eliminated due to the benefits mentioned before. One of these projects was Europe, with municipality of Altea being lead partner and us members before 6-something years. Now it can easily be stated that the perspective for political participation of Cyprus in European projects is great. What is the importance of political will in the development and success of transnational initiatives? In order for the development of these initiatives and cooperation, political will must be present. Political will, which is very important, is usually mentioned in reference to the center of power and to political decision makers as the key actors in good governance. Central government has to have the will to put the initiatives in the negotiation and the design with and the agreement with the European Union decision bodies. On the other hand, without the political will of local governments that promote and benefit from the transnational initiatives, there will be no success to the whole procedure. Local governments are the main actors of the success. First of all, they have to believe in the benefits of initiatives and promote decisions in their local bodies for the participation. Secondly, they have to anticipate and approve the required budget for the participation in the initiatives. And last but not least, they have to raise the awareness of the citizens and disseminate the information needed to them so that the citizens will embrace the opportunities and with their participation too and to the local government's will for the participation in these initiatives. I think this is one of the greatest. Now, presentation of best practices and lessons learned in the field of European cooperation. Cyprus is a small country of the European Union. Municipality of Athienu is a small municipality in Cyprus of around 7,000 inhabitants. We are the biggest municipality land-wise, Our land is the biggest of all the municipalities in Cyprus. But with 75% of this land occupied by the Turkish army. The last few years, through the participation in many EU projects and programs, regardless of our small size and the occupation, we continue participating a lot in EU programs involving our youth and many other interested citizens. ATHENU has participated and participates in many EU projects, others just as a partners and others as a lead partner. Always trying to have a significant participation in all. ATHENU, and I will talk about it in a little while, has a best practice for volunteerism, for which is very proud. This has been approved by ERPAC program in 2017 as a good practice, an ERPAC good practice, and through it, the municipality, this small European municipality, had led 2 European projects for transferring this good practice to 11 EU cities. One was Altea in 10 European countries. The best practice deals with the Municipal Council of Volunteerism, this MCV, that was founded in 1970 in collaboration with the local authorities by groups of volunteers working in the municipality, and is chaired by the respective mayor. Every mayor is the president of this MCV. It became an institutional organization of a society which for decades had demonstrated a high degree of social cohesion. People of all ages are excited to participate, offering their time and resources to those in need. The spirit of volunteerism, and this is something we always say for ATHENU, exists in most families, is passed down from generation to generation and contributes to the healthy development of the society. Its objectives are the recognition of the social needs of the municipality of ATHENU and then development of the necessary policies to address them. The involvement of citizens in the development of society's quality of life, and the promotion and education of the public about the social programs of the MCV and the local social needs. What are the programs of this MCV? There are 4 programs. First of all, we have this Kleanthios Community Home for Age, which was established in 1983 and is a living organization providing care to the elderly and not only. And I said at the bottom there, you can see it, all these programs, what is the main thing about them? They all have management committees that they are volunteers. Here I have one of our volunteers with me, Mrs. Yola, who is the president of the Committee of the Elder House, and also the second one, this Konstantinou Center for Adults, which gives daily care to people in need. She's just a volunteer. She spends her time, but she's the president of the committee, along with many other volunteers that perform this committee. We have a community nursing center. It was established in 1991, which gives a high-quality service for children up to 3 years old, and also a social welfare committee where the president is the respective mayor. It was established in 2011, and it gives social care to persons in need. And you can see there that there are lots of volunteers. Anytime we request volunteering actions and we need volunteers, we have them. 100, 150, as many as we want, we can find, because the society there believes in these volunteering actions. We have many sponsors and many volunteering activities. I want, before concluding, to mention the exceptional collaboration we have since 2018 with the municipality of Altea in 3 European projects. We are working now in an urban collaboration initiative to invite in Athienu youth from Altea to come to see our volunteering programs there. And I would like to say that this cooperation would be there, and is very successful due to my friend Paloma Vertu, the manager of your Altea, and the collaborator we both have, Alberto Lorente, who both I would like to thank a lot for the excellent cooperation we have. And I would ask, I don't know if you can press the button there to show us this video. Okay. It's just a few minutes.
Το 1926 και είναι ένας από τους αρχαιότερους δήμους της Κύπρου. Διαχρονικά προσφέρει υπηρεσίες προς τους δημότες του και γενικότερα προς το κοινωνικό σύνολο, έχοντας ως καθοριστικές προτεραιότητες του την αναβάθμιση της ποιότητας ζωής των πολιτών, την προστασία και τη βελτίωση του περιβάλλοντος, την προώθηση δράσεων, παρεμβάσεων και έργων υποδομής προς διασφάλιση της αειφόρου ανάπτυξης του τόπου και των ανθρώπων του.
Προτείναμε και ζητήσαμε να εγκριθεί η πόλη Αθιένου ως πόλη καλής πρακτικής για τον εθελοντισμό. Μια πρόταση που εγκρίθηκε από το πρόγραμμα ERPACT, ευραβευτήκαμε και μετά μας εδόθηκε η ευκαιρία να υποβάλουμε πρόταση για να κάνουμε ένα δίκτυο μεταφοράς αυτής της καλής πρακτικής σε άλλες πόλεις της Ευρώπης. Το έκαναμε αυτό το πράγμα και ολοκληρώσαμε ένα πρόγραμμα σε ένα δίκτυο άλλων 7 πόλεων της Ευρώπης, άλλες πολύ μεγαλύτερες της Αθιένου, άλλες λίγο μεγαλύτερες και άλλες ακόμα και μικρότερες, και έμειναν έκπληκτοι για το τι συμβαίνει στην Αθιένου, και μας εδόθηκε η ευκαιρία και για δεύτερον δίκτυο, και σήμερα έχουμε ένα δίκτυο 5 πόλεων στο οποίο μεταφέρουμε την καλή μας πρακτική, και πραγματικά ευρωπαϊκές πόλεις μιλούν για την Αθιένου και πραγματικά νιώθουν το τι δουλειά γίνεται στον εθελοντισμό και πόση καλή προσπάθεια γίνεται.
Η καλή πρακτική του εθελοντισμού στην Αθιένου μετουσιώνεται και γίνεται πράξη μέσα από τα 4 προγράμματα τα οποία υλοποιούνται στο πλαίσιο του Συμβουλίου Κοινωνικού Εθελοντισμού Αθιένου. Η ιστορία της Αθιένου έχει την ίδια διάρκεια που έχει και ο ελληνισμός του.
Thank you, Kyriakos, for this great presentation. And now we're just going to pass to the final speaker before the closing act. I'm going to introduce to you Javier Exposito. He's an entrepreneur and president of Asset Association, a non-profit association dedicated to promoting and fostering the social inclusion of young people in the region of Alcoya and Comtat. Former president of the Association of Young Businessmen and Businesswomen of the Alicante region of Alcoya de Comtat and Foya de Castalla. His presentation, the role of business partnership in European projects. So I give you the floor, Javier. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, very good.
Hello? Okay, perfect. Well, the hardest part about being the last one is that everything important has been said. And on the other hand, we had a great panel here. So all the presentations were better than mine, so I will try to do my best. I'm going to try to summarize a very, very complex concept in a very concrete few lines. Okay, I'm going to talk about how the business community should be involved in all the European experiences, all the European projects that entities like yours develop. Well, Paloma introduced me. Thank you so much. Just a few lines. I am in the business world, and I am very connected with business associations. Why is this important? Because, okay. The world in business has changed. I lived in the COVID era. I was already, even though I'm young with gray hair, but young still. I was running my company as an entrepreneur in the COVID era, and it happened a very, very interesting thing in the business world, and it's that a lot of CEOs and directives, board members of business realized that they couldn't make it on their own. So we experienced an important growth in the whole Europe of the business association environment. If you remember, it was a very complex situation. For example, in Spain, the labor legislation was changing every day. We were one day, and we didn't know if we could open the door of our business to the next day. You remember that? It was crazy. So the business association moment was incredibly important because we had two choices: being together or disappear. So this kind of bad thing, this kind of terrible thing, turned into an opportunity. And it's that all the business changed their minds, and we, as part of the society, realized more than ever of our role in the communities that we live with. So maybe because of that, we started to go open into collaborating with entities like yours. And thanks to that, I'm going to try to summarize why it's important for you to collaborate with entities as ours. There is one word that goes over the European projects, and it's a stakeholder. What is a stakeholder? If we think about it, a stakeholder is somebody that has any kind of interest in the area that the project is going to be developed in. For example, here in Spain, we have a pretty big problem for finding talented youngsters for working in our companies. So we are stakeholders in any project that empowers young people to find a career, to get civic participation involved. Anything that, for example, in the previous panel, my friend Alberto was talking about how voluntarism, how traveling in Europe changes the life of young people. The impact of those lives changing into the business, the economic life of the region is huge. That's our point there. And what can business do in European projects? First, knowledge. second, networking, and third, research and development. But the 3 points can be summarized in just one: pragmatism. For companies, it's very, very, very important how the incredible work that you do in your communities can get implemented, and we are good actors in order to help you how to implement them, because we know the day-to-day life in our places. So how can they do it? How can companies collaborate with you? There are two choices. Well, walking alone almost never works, or through associations. I was president of one business young association for almost 4 years, and I learned the hard way how important is to work together, and how important is to collaborate with public administrations. Here we have a good example about it. Altea is very committed with the stakeholders of the area. But again, what is a stakeholder? The point is that if we design our projects and we develop our projects in a completely holistic way of implementation, if in our civic and economic areas, everything will be much better. So, why is it important to involve business? We put a pragmatic point of view, because we need social economic development, and we, the private sector, we are the economic booster of many areas. For example, now we are collaborating with European Commission project for smart cities, the ICC program. I don't know if you know it. I personally working on that. What I do there, I try to put to earth all the projects so we can implement it today in the living of our people. That point of view, I think it's very, very important. And the big question, why serve projects? Well, one of other things that I do is I am president of a non-profit organization, and we are collaborating with Altea in a SERF project. During these years, I have worked in several lines, in several European projects. But SERF is definitely special. Why? Because of its implementation in the civic life of the people. We really have the chance through SERF projects to change the lives of people. And we have to do it hand by hand to the stakeholders. So, how will European cooperations contributes to the development of employment and social inclusion? When we think about young people in our areas, in our communities, most of the time they feel lost, right? That's something I learned in my non-profit organization when I coach them. I hate the word, but you understand. There is one point in young people's life where they feel like their path in their lives is no longer written. You study in school, then you study in the high school, then you go to the university, And after that, you see the open sea, right? Try to involve those people into your projects, because that's the age where they can really become. I'm trying to translate while I'm thinking in Spanish, and it's and I'm doing terrible. Rup. Okay. Gay boy, girl, 21 years old, finishing their studies. They don't know what to do. They feel lost. If we help in that moment, that person, and we involve them as a volunteer in one of our organization, when they come back from that experience, they will have developed social skills that will be important for them to overcome their situation. And they will acquire some of the soft skills that they need to get into the labor market. Now I think I explained it better. Okay, so as I told you, just one idea. Take the civic life and take the economic life into consideration. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the municipality of Altea for inviting us and for this great event. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Javi. I know you have to run, so because you told me, so I just say thank you for being here with us, and just, well, we talk on Monday to continue working together and collaborating together. Thank you very much. Well, I want to thank you, every one of you, and we're just going to do the closing. I will do the questions later, Joanna. I know you have questions, but we'll do it as soon as we do the closing. Because this is something that not every day happens, and we have well, a very huge honor that I'm not going to introduce myself. Jose, I know me vas a matar, but I believe this is for you, because Manuel de Santos, who is a visionary, is a person that it was my professor in the master in 2001, and I'm just going to say a very little, but it's for you to introduce him, because he's your personal friend. Yes. Yeah. He was the former vice president for the European Patent Office. And I'm going to let my colleague and friend Jose to introduce him, because they're close friends. So thank you very much for being here today. It means a lot. Master Lucentinos.
I knew you were going to ask me, so this morning I could prepare just a few words. It's a pleasure for me to introduce Manuel de Santos, and I think it's also a pleasure for Altea and all of us to share with you here today. My first boss, after finishing my studies at the University of Alicante many years ago, Manuel is a very great professor, but especially a better person. Former Vice President of the European Patent Office, Chair Professor of the International Private Department of the University of Alicante, and for years one of the best examples of what idea of being Europe means. Manuel de Santos is one of the best representatives in our region of the promotion, the defense, and the need of building a strong European Union. And in addition, I would like to mention that he's also a promoter of culture, especially with the implementation of the Library of Happy Books, a very popular and special magic place in Alicante Center, where you can share and take a journey through history, and which I invite you to visit. Again, thanks a lot for being here with us today.
Well, I'm profoundly overloaded. I should not speak now after what they have said. But good morning, everybody. I'm fully aware that after 4 hours you're waiting for your lunch, so promise you to be very brief. So thanks very much, Paloma. Thanks very much, José Ramón, for inviting me to the city of the gods. Yeah. This is the city of the gods. And thanks for inviting me precisely to this final meeting, touching the very, very priority for Europe. You know, priority, sorry, if from time to time I talk to you, from time to time to them, you know, there is a word in every language having no plural. And this is the word priority. Prior is what comes first, so there are no priorities. We humans, we tend to put all the priorities this way in a horizontal manner, and this is what happens with humans then, yeah. Nos hacemos un lío inmenso. Prior is only one, and I'm profoundly convinced that for Europe, the priority is to develop civil society. And you develop civil society bringing one person with another person. And this is the way. And many times we have forgotten that Europe is something that relates to human beings, to persons, to people, not only to politicians or to states. Yeah. You know, I've lived in 9 countries, 7 of them European. I've spent 23 years out of Spain. I have been a member of the European Commission as a civil servant. Yeah? Also vice president of the European Patent Office for quite an amount of years. Probably the most emotional and interesting thing I have dealt with that in the Paleolithic medium, I used to be president of the Young European Federalists, 1984. Belgian section. There was no great merit for that. You know, the Belgian section of the Youth European Federalists were very strong, but they had a problem. They could not find a president because the president could not be Flemish, could not be Wallon. So I just passed away there. I was there. You will be the president. So I was the president. And I could like just in the next 7 minutes bring you completely naked to you what are my feelings, what is my experience, what did I learn after more than 40 years fighting for Europe. Yeah? The first thing I learned is that you have to be careful. The result of being all around is that I have 4 kids, and at a certain point, all of them were engaged with non-Spaniards. And this is dangerous, as you can imagine. The result of that is that 3 of them, at a certain moment, the 4 of them were living out of Spain when we came back 15 years ago. And now 3 of them are out. So that's why my obsession to bring them in this territory, which is blessed by God. I don't want them coming back. What I want, because they are, except one, all the others are in Europe. Yeah? What I would like, José Ramón, is to offer them, to contribute to offer them the possibility of thinking to come back. For them to understand that we live in a European country and we have a dream and we have a project. The second thing I got as a conclusion and an experience is that the European construction is miserable. Sorry to say this. It's a miserable construction. Because every construction where you have human beings at the end is miserable. It's miserable because for the first time ever in history, cultures that had been fighting to each other for millenniums suddenly look at eye to eye and say, now we're going to work together. That's a mess. And we have to understand this. The European construction is a human construction, is a unique human construction, and is miserable. And thanks God we have crisis, because if we wouldn't have crisis, we would never arrive to agreements. So we have to go on to the very extreme. And there is a decision-making process at the European Union, well known, that is the exhaustion procedure. You know how does it work? Yeah. The whole week working in the Council, a proposal from the Commission that is also going around through the Parliament, and then it's Friday, 6 o'clock. Friday, 6 o'clock, something happens. The President of the Council at this moment, these 6 months, takes the decision to change the interpreters. And this means that he envisages the possibility of arriving to an agreement. To see how miserable. Eh? But then that's risky, because if the meeting finishes 5 minutes later, he has to pay the whole set of interpreters. Yeah, it's the evening, so the plus of evening. Then I used to phone my home and tell my wife, listen, I'm afraid I will not arrive for having dinner with the kids, so just we'll arrive a little bit later, but we will have dinner together. Around 8 o'clock, then the meeting stops and some sandwiches come around. And then I used to phone my wife and say, you know, I'm afraid I'm not going to arrive for dinner, but I will arrive at decent time. Yeah? In those days, by 11 o'clock, this is something I was told that what I'm going to tell you, I will deny to have said this outside this room, and now it does not happen. But around 11 o'clock, then there was some snacks and whiskey and gin and outside the room. And then I used to phone my wife and said, listen, I don't know when I'm going to arrive. Yeah. And around 5 o'clock, people started being so tired that they started, let's say, giving up some of our very, very important reasons 5 minutes before. Then the possibility of an agreement arrived. But you know, there was a problem. In Article 3 of the directive was very clear. So it was clearly divided, and there was no way to get the qualified majority. Imagine if what you need is unanimity. Yeah? Then at a certain moment, the President used to stop again at 3 o'clock in the morning, come to the legal service of the Commission and said, do you understand what is the issue? And I said, well, it's clearly understandable. These countries think this and these countries think this. Yeah, so we go nowhere. Yeah? No, I'm afraid we'll go nowhere this way. We can spend weeks here, but we go nowhere. And then, do you mind to obscure a little bit the text? Do you mind to obscure a little bit the text? And I was a specialist of obscuring texts. Yeah? So I went to a corner and I rewrote the article in a way that was impossible to understand. Absolutely impossible. Came with the article, the guy read the article, and I thought, that's good news. Yeah. I was like, well, let's see. They made 4 copies, they call all the others, and all the others are starting a very interesting process, 10, 15-minute process where they read the article. First impression was awful. Then they start thinking, well, no, it's Saturday morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, whole week working with 2 years there. We are at the verge of arriving to an agreement. I know that this is not what my minister wanted, but you know, it's not also what the others wanted. So in a way, who knows how can this be interpreted? And then suddenly this started changing little by little, and at a certain moment, people were counting, tan, 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 tan. At a certain moment, there was qualified majority. And at different moments, said, now, voting. voting. People think, well, you see, the Court of Justice will interpret this in 10, 15 years. I will not be there anymore. And then voting, qualified majority, oh, everybody at home. This is miserable. The third thing I understood, and this is by experience, is that the European construction is absolutely glorious. You know, before, we kill each other for millenniums. Before, we destroy each other for millenniums. And suddenly, a guy invented the Spinelli, came to the conclusion that in a concentration camp that this cannot continue, write a declaration, a manifest, and this goes on, gets out of Italy, and their persons, not only the politicians, but their persons, many persons, comes to the conclusion that this cannot be repeated again, yeah? That something has to be done. And then the very logo arrives, and this very logo has so enrooted in my stomach, you know, that, and I could laugh, especially the young here, that could be enrooted in your stomach. The logo is in diversitate concordia. In diversitate concordia. It's impossible to say more in just 3 words. In diversitate, we are very different, my dear. Sorry to say. We are very different. We are very different. It's thousands of years. Now when I look at my older son married with a friend, with a French lady, and she comes here, and she does not appreciate laying in the beach. In diversitate. We look at each other. We understand what our parents, grandparents, great-parents, grandparents for millenniums have done. And we say, we will not repeat this again, ever. But we are different. And this is going to be hell. And this is going to be complex. And we don't have any reference in history. No one else in history had entered into this path. This is completely new. And the only way to learn is making mistakes. In diversitate concordia. I told you before that there's a word in Spanish having no plural, yeah? The most beautiful word in the Spanish language, well, in Latin language, what I'm saying, the most beautiful word in Latin language is concordia. You know what cordis means? Latin is beautiful, yeah? We should enter in a little bit in the Latin. Cordis is this. That's cordis. Concordis is bringing hearts together. This cordis is separating hearts. In diversitate concordia. And then I learned, when I was your age, I want to devote my life to this. This is something which merits. It's miserable, but it merits. And now, I'm finishing. And now, it's 2024. Where is Europe? Where does Europe go? And first of all, in my view, we have to understand very thoroughly and very clearly what is happening today. We are entering the 4th era of the history of humanity, of mankind. The 4th. The first one was when so-called human beings, but probably not, they don't have very clear what human meant, what conscience of being human meant. They discovered that the fire was dangerous. So some of them escaped from fire and they won the battle. They won the battle because they were safe. Some of them took the fire and they burned themselves and they lost the battle. But they learned that the fire could be useful and they cook meat. And then they won the war. And this was the beginning. Many, many millenniums later, humans got the skills to domesticate, that's English? Yeah? To domesticate plants and animals. And then those who continue with the nomadism won the battle, because those who decided to stay in a given place with the plants and with the animals domesticated, they had hell. It was very complex to work with you, my dear, and with you, and with you, and with you. When you're a nomad, well, you're there, and you have some contacts, and that's it. So they had hell. They lost the battle, but they won the war. And this is the second era. The third era started when humans learned how to communicate and transfer knowledge in a way different than orally. And they invented later on how to write things, and these things could be known. And this is the third era. And this is the fourth. We entered into the fourth era. A fourth era where humans for the first time ever have two challenges. Challenge number one, we are destroying our planet. What are we going to do with our planet? And challenge number two, for the first time also, we face another beings that we are not so sure whether we're going to be, they will be domesticated, yeah? We managed to domesticate the fire, the plants, the animals. What about the machines? So there is where the future Europe lies. And in my view, Europe didn't realize completely that for that you need to be together, that there's no plan B. When you see what the Americans are doing, what the Chinese are doing, where the hell is Europe? We are a bunch of old guys, needed profoundly of having young blood coming. We need immigrants coming here because we are not going to get the necessary population. And we need to review completely the way we are going to approach our future. And this is a terrific challenge. The same challenge I could say we had in 1945, we have now. And we have to come back again to the roots, in diversitate concordia. If we just don't move, and now I'm talking about civil society, if we just don't rise, if we just don't push the politicians, if we don't do things like the ones you have done today, Europe is lost. I don't trust the politicians will arrive to face the future of Europe if the 500 million Europeans are not behind. We have elections in some months. We have something to do. Don't complain later on. Don't complain later on if you find at the end that we are governed by individuals that didn't understand that life is complex, by individuals who convinced many of our citizens that simplicity is better. Simplicity is hell. Simplicity means you need an enemy for understanding things simple. You need to put yourself in a corner and then in another corner. Things in life are complex, and we Europeans, we know things in life are complex. Sometimes we have to get the agreement at 5 o'clock in the morning by obscuring text. That's glorious. That's glorious. Before we used to kill each other, come on. But things in life are complex. What you have to understand, youngs, is that things are complex. Of course, we have to try to explain things in a way that are understandable. In Spanish, we have the expression sencillo, that is very plastic, yeah? We have to explain things in a way that is understandable, but things are complex. Things are not simple. And I finish, either the civil society in Europe wakes up and start organizing, and you are the leaders, yeah? Organizing themselves and pushing the politicians and our representatives and getting the understanding that it's now when we have to do things that our children and our grandchildren will judge in the future. And if we don't do it, they will conclude that we did hell. And for that, we have to come back in diversitate concordia. And for that, we have to be courageous to speak about Europe, to understand that Europe is miserable, to understand that the construction is glorious, to understand that this is the first time ever in history that as a group, a bunch of different human beings move into changing swords by words. This is, my dears, what I wanted to pass you today in 15 minutes. This is what I have learned. And I don't know whether I will stay in this beautiful place of the world for many years. What I know is that until the very last second, I will continue pushing and fighting for the future of my grandchildren. Thank you very much.
Manuel de Santos, thank you very much. Gracias. And, well, we came all the way to here, and now we're closing this day, this morning. So I would like to thank you, everybody. I know it's a lot of people just queuing to talk to Manuel de Santos because he's just been here since I can remember. So I just want to say thank you very much to everybody. And I know, Joanna, but also I know that people might be hungry. Yes. So, not really. But you know who you want to ask, so lunchtime, that will be you. So I just want to invite you to the first floor because we have prepared some lunch for you. It's just a welcome lunch, and we do hope that you enjoy it. And that's it. I don't know if my councilman would like to say some final words. Yes.
Well, thank you all for being here, and just wish you enjoy your town, or enjoy the rest of the journeys, and thank you for all.
So that's it. Feel free to dismiss and go to first floor so we can start having some lunch. For those who actually would like to have some lunch, first floor. Yes. Okay. So just for the partners for the project, we're gonna have lunch upstairs, and then 3 o'clock we finish and we meet downstairs just to go to do some coordination, and then we start with the visit to Red Cross that Albert and Ima are here to do that. No, take it with you. Yeah, because they are going to reorganize the room. Yep. So we're just going upstairs, and then 3 o'clock we just come back here. Thank you.